Namaskar. I know we have a lot of friends from Chennai. Vanakkam. Editor, Sportstar, Shri Ayon Sen Gupta ji. Senior journalist, Shri Vijay Lokpalli ji. Sporting administrators, distinguished athletes, officials and the office bearers from the National Sports Federations. My dear friends, Namaskar, I'm delighted to be present here to deliver the keynote address at the National Sports Conclave being organized by the Sportstar. Just 2 days ago, we had organized a Chintan Shiva within the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, and I had remarked that sports is the only section apart from politics which I get 3 pages in most of the newspaper of the country. So that is the kind of importance sports gets as far as the newspapers are concerned. But here we have a magazine that began as a print-only multi-sport weekly back in 1978, and it has evolved itself to still be the India's premium sporting magazine. I still remember my playing days when I used to buy every week Sportstar. And the major attraction for me during that time was the middle page, which has a glossy poster kind of a paper, which I used to take out and put on my cupboard, sometimes outside, inside. So I think that was a big attraction for me for many years. So we meet here today with just 16 months to go for the next Olympics to be held in Paris. And I want to convey my appreciation to the Sportstar for organizing such conclaves at the national level as well as at the regional level, which no other magazine does. Thank you so much for that. The impact and the might of sports in a country like ours cannot and should not be underestimated, and it is time now that we start punching at our weight and claim a place in sporting world that we ideally should have had. So when I talk about punching, I have to talk about women and the women athletes. We have seen the punches in the last few days at the national capital. And I would like to congratulate from this forum to our 4 gold medalists, Nikhet Zareen, Lavleena, Neetu Gangas, and Sweti Bora. एक नहीं, वैसे तो भारत में 3 देवियों की ही बात चलती थी. इन चारों हमारे बॉक्सर्स ने देश के लिए नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित किए हैं. मैं सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं. So these 4 boxers dominated their respective weight categories from the beginning of the championship and became world champions, making the country proud yet again. I still remember when last year Nikhet won and became the world champion. I could see on the ground a lot of young girls used to come when I used to travel and meet a lot of young athletes during the Sansad Khel Mahakumbh in various parts of the country. They used to come and say, sir, हमें boxing खेलना है. तो ये कहाँ से आया? MC मैरी कॉम से रुका नहीं. MC मैरी कॉम बनी 6 बार की वर्ल्ड चैंपियन. लवलीना ने टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में जीता देश के लिए मेडल. तो वहीं पर निखित ज़रीन ने IBA वुमेन वर्ल्ड बॉक्सिंग चैंपियनशिप में मेडल जीता. तो एक के बाद जब दूसरा स्टार आता है और स्पोर्ट्स स्टार में भी वो कवर पेज पर आती है, तो देश भर के लिए बहुत बड़ा एक इंस्पिरेशन के रूप में एक प्रेरणा उनके लिए बनती है. तो मुझे लगता है हमारी ये जो वुमेन एथलीट्स है, दे बिकम अ सोर्स ऑफ इंस्पिरेशन फॉर many young upcoming athletes who want to take up boxing as their sport. So our women athletes are consistently making the nation proud across sports, across events, across age groups. And I would like to mention here an event we launched few weeks back on 10th of March, Khelo India 10 Kadam. This initiative is majorly focused on women, as 8th of March was the Women's Day, but that day it was holy, so we could not launch it on 8th, but we launched it on 10th to celebrate that. And I'm pleased to say here that we organized this across 50 cities in the country, and more than 15,000 women participated in this event. In total, 10 sports from Kho-Kho, swimming, athletics, wushu, archery, fencing, judo, weightlifting, hockey, and yogasana. I would also like to point out here that this initiative is not a one-off initiative. Since the past 18 months, we have launched Khelo India Leagues for women across multiple sports, and we have seen tremendous success till now. Previously, the athletes did not get a chance to participate in competitions, but we organized leagues and tournaments in various sports, including hockey, weightlifting, cycling, kho-kho, judo, and wushu. I was just taking the feedback from the Joint Secretary BCCI and was congratulating him for taking the initiative to start the Women Premium League. So I think the WPL was extremely successful, and this has opened the gates for many other such organizations who might be thinking whether to start a league for women or not. Yes, there is a lot of takers for the women athletes in this country, and I think you should look forward to have your own leagues in various disciplines. I often get to ask these questions in the parliament and otherwise about how does Indian government support the top athletes and the grassroots athletes and the facilities we provide to the associations and to the athletes. So I'm glad to have Prime Minister Modi, who's a sports lover and a sports promoter. And since the launch of the Khelo India scheme in the year 2017, we have developed a 3-tier pyramid structure for coaching, training of athletes in the country. At the bottom of the pyramid will be the Khelo India athletes and athletes training at the various schemes and centers run by the Sports Authority of India, whether it is National Center of Excellence or the site training centers or the extension centers, akhadas, etc. We have close to 7,998 athletes training in about 34 disciplines at our centers, and we also provide support to 3,000 athletes in Khelo India to the Khelo India athletes in various Khelo India accredited academies. So these athletes are scouted and chosen by the Talent Identification and Development Committee. We also look at tournaments like Khelo India Youth Games, Khelo India University Games, to look at and the Khelo India other events, also the national games to pick upcoming players, athletes. I would like to say here, हम केवल इनको चुनते ही नहीं हैं, खिलाड़ियों को चुनने के साथ साथ उनको निखारने का, तराशने का काम भी करते हैं। प्रति खिलाड़ी पर लगभग 6,28,000 रुपया खर्चा आता है, जिसमें से 5 लाख उनकी बोर्डिंग, लॉजिंग, ट्रेनिंग सब पे खर्च होता है, और लगभग 1,20,000 रुपया उनको जेब खर्च के रूप में दिया जाता है। और यही नहीं, इसके अलावा जो हमारा टॉप्स का डेवलपमेंट ग्रुप है, जहां पे लगभग 165 खिलाड़ियों को चुना जाता है, और इन सब के बोर्डिंग, लॉजिंग, ट्रेनिंग के अलावा इनको लगभग 3 लाख रुपया साल का 25,000 रुपया महीना भी जेब खर्च देने का काम किया जाता है। एलीट ग्रुप जो है टॉप्स का है, उसमें बोर्डिंग, लॉजिंग, ट्रेनिंग तो देश में और दुनिया भर में सब करने का काम करते ही हैं। 6 लाख रुपया उनको जेब खर्च यहां पर भी देने का काम किया जाता है। So it never happened in the past, but we are taking care of their boarding, lodging, training to each and everything. Apart than that, also the out-of-pocket allowance has been provided by the Government of India. I think our players do not worry about these kind of aspects now, where the Government of India is taking care of their boarding, lodging to the other aspects and also providing the out-of-pocket allowance. But there are still many areas we need to look at, which I may come later on that, as far as the role of the state governments and the state associations are concerned. Primarily, the sports is a state subject. States has to play a very important role. As far as the selection is concerned, National Sports Federation and the state association has to play a very important role. Because from outside, which I could see when the questions comes in the parliament or otherwise, the common man has this perception that it is the government who has to select the players. No, we don't have to. It is the federation who does that. So the major role is with the federations, and we have seen some changes in the federations also, where there is a mix of players and administrators who are taking control of the associations and promoting them. I also engage with various sports federations. Adilji is here, others are also sitting here. We also take feedback from them, what are their challenges. And in the beginning of this month of March, I held a high-level committee meeting to review the preparation for the 2024 Olympic Games. Adilji was there that day, and other athletes were also there from the Indian Olympic Association. And I was pleased to hear that all the stakeholders are aware of their responsibilities and respective roles, and that all of us are aligned to provide our elite athletes all the support they need. We are trying to give our best, train them, give them exposure, let them participate in the various events in India and abroad. For each scheme or decision taken by the central government, one of the top things that the Prime Minister Modi focuses on is ease of living for citizens and for sports person. In this case, I have to highlight a couple of things what we did in the last few months. So when I was an athlete in my school or college days, and thereafter as an administrator, I firsthand saw the issues faced by the athletes. The issues might look minuscule in nature, but they bog down the athletes and distract them from their training. When you have to spend a lot of time running from one office to another, chasing for your funds or other demands. So when I took over as a minister, I got the charge of this ministry in July 2021. One of the first decisions I took was to build a portal wherein in the past, present and budding athletes can benefit with the use of technology. We created a portal wherein no athlete needs to physically come to the ministry, and they will be able to apply for their pension, apply for their scholarship, apply for cash awards on one website. अब आपको कहीं भागने की जरूरत नहीं, केवल आपको वेबसाइट पर पोर्टल पर जाकर लॉगिन करना है, स्कैन करके अपना रिक्वेस्ट वहां पर डालना है, सर्टिफिकेट डालना है और आपके खाते में पैसा डीबीटी से ट्रांसफर हो जाता है. ये हमने आप सबके लिए आसान कर दिया है. And we have also changed the system of application of sporting awards to fully online this year, and these changes led to the ease of living for the sports persons. The digitalization of these schemes is ensuring faster disposal of the applications, less interference by the stakeholders, proper record keeping, and is avoiding duplicity. All these schemes are now DBT compliant, and are unnecessary verification through Federation SAI has been done away with. So even my office knows that they have to approve the application within a set time frame. So under the able leadership of visionary Shri Narendra Modi ji, we are aiming to become a sporting powerhouse and to give a fillip to the overall ecosystem. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports have also seen a manifold increase in its budget outlay over the years, from a mere 466 crores in the year 2004 and 2005, we have come up to 3,397.32 crores in the financial year 2023-2024. So कहने का भाव ये है कि 2004-2005 से 466 करोड़ से बढ़कर 3,397 करोड़ रुपया भारत सरकार का युवा विभाग और खेलों का बजट हो गया है। मैंने पहले भी कहा कि खेल एक राज्य का विषय है और राज्यों की भी इसमें बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। तो जो भारत सरकार करती है उसके अलावा राज्यों के भी अलग अलग राज्यों ने अपने बजट्स को प्राथमिकता खेलों में भी देने की शुरुआत की है। We are revamping the sporting ecosystem in the country and there is a new push to build modern sporting infrastructure across the nation. We have sanctioned more than 3,000 crore rupees in the past 5 years for 280 plus infrastructure projects in 36 states, wherein we are building multi-purpose sports complexes, indoor halls, synthetic athletic tracks, hockey astroturfs, mini stadiums, etc. We are also building modern world-class sports complexes in the Narayanpura in Ahmedabad, Sigra in Varanasi, which will prove to be a hub for the future Olympic medalist. Not only that, we are also building 1,000 Khelo India centers across the nation, wherein we will focus on the talent identification at the grassroots level. And a retired coach or a player who have played for many years, they can be employed at these centers to provide basic training. Close to 800 centers are already sanctioned, and we plan to open all the 1,000 centers before 15th August 2023. So these 1,000 Khelo India centers will be sanctioned and functional before the 15th August 2023. We are successfully hosting the G20 presidency right now, and I'm sure that we will be fully equipped to host the future Olympics in India sometime soon, and we'll be hopeful to bid that. We are keen to host the Olympics in India. We'll make sure that we'll have a successful bid. So one more visible change that is being seen right now is the multiple international sporting events coming to India. As you know, we have hosted the 44th FIDE Chess Olympiad in India. Not only hosted, but very successfully hosted. We also had the first ever torch relay in the Chess Olympiad, and the FIDE International President has announced that maybe in future Chess Olympiad is hosted by some other country, but the torch relay will start from India only. क्योंकि भारत से ही चेस की शुरुआत हुई थी, और भारत से अगर चेस की शुरुआत हुई है, जन्म भारत से हुआ है, तो टॉर्च रिले हर वर्ष यहीं पर होगा, यहीं से शुरुआत होगी. And we tried to take the torch relay to the 75 cities across India to create awareness about chess. Not only that, we have hosted the FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup in 3 cities, from the state of Odisha to Goa to Maharashtra, and we hosted it successfully. And yesterday only we have completed the IBA Women World Boxing Championship. होस्ट करना तो अलग बात है, होस्ट करने का आनंद अलग है कि आप दुनिया भर के खिलाड़ियों को यहाँ बुला रहे हो, लेकिन होस्ट करके अपने 4 बॉक्सर्स वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बन जाएं, इससे सुखद पल कुछ और नहीं हो सकता. और ये यहीं पे हुआ है, इसके लिए मैं आप सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ. द 3rd edition of the WADA Athlete Biological Passport Symposium was organized last year in Delhi, where over 200 participants from 56 nations, including WADA officials, experts from different anti-doping organizations participated. Not only that, we have also passed the NADA bill in the parliament. Well, we are trying our level best to do well in that area as well. When it comes to the domestic level events, we cannot look past the Khelo India Games, whether it is the Khelo India Youth Games, University Games, or Winter Games. Even this year, if you look at Gulmarg, we had record participation. Earlier it used to be 6 games. This year we had 11 games, record participation of more than 1,500 athletes. In the national games also, it was the 36 national games, 36 events for 36 days. It was a well organized by the Gujarat. In a 3-month span, they did it. And in the Khelo India Youth Games also, Sengupta ji, last year in Panchkula when we hosted it, 12 national records were broken and 11 were broken by the girl child. So women athletes. This year 25 national records are broken, 21 are broken by the women athletes. So that is the achievement. So I think in every sector we have seen women are doing extremely well. So I think we have a lot of scope here in the Khelo India Games, and it has been a phenomenal success in identifying talent and promoting athletes, fast-tracking them in respective sports. One area which I wanted to mention here, Prime Minister started the Khel Mahakumbh when he was the Chief Minister in Gujarat. I started as a Member of Parliament, Sansad Khel Mahakumbh. And in my parliamentary constituency, more than 70,000 youth participate in that Khel Mahakumbh in 6-7 sports. Now, Honorable Prime Minister took the initiative, told the MPs from our party to start this initiative. I'm glad to say here, lot of MPs are hosting the Sansad Khel Mahakumbh, Sansad Khel Pratispadha in their areas. And I've seen there's a buzz in their constituencies where a lot of youngsters come and participate. So we are going to pick some talented players from there as well who have come across as very, rich talent from at that level. I think if every MP, each and every MP, each and every MLA and the Panchayat Pradhan start doing one or the other event related to the sports in their areas as elected representative, I think we can create the right environment for the sports in the country. पंचायत के प्रधान को कहां करना है? अपनी पंचायत में करना है. परिवारों के बीच में भी हो सकता है, महिलाओं का अलग हो सकता है, कोई बहुत खर्चा करने की आवश्यकता नहीं. विधायक को केवल अपने विधानसभा क्षेत्र में करना है. 50 पंचायत मुश्किल से आती हैं, बहुत खर्चा होने वाला नहीं है. खिलाड़ियों को हर बार कैश प्राइज या बड़े इनाम नहीं चाहिए, उनको कई बार तो इवेंट चाहिए अपनी प्रतिभा को दिखाने का, अपनी परफॉर्मेंस को दिखाने का. और अगर जमीनी स्तर से लेकर राष्ट्रीय स्तर तक अगर हम ये कर पाएंगे तो मैं कह सकता हूं जैसे फिल्मों में हुआ है, रीजनल से इंटरनेशनल होते समय नहीं लगता. जो आरआरआर ने रीजनल से नेशनल से इंटरनेशनल हो गई, एलिफेंट विस्परर्स एक स्मॉल डॉक्यूमेंट्री से ऑस्कर अवार्ड विजेता हो गई. तो ऐसे ही एक पंचायत में खेलता हुआ खिलाड़ी जब उभरता हुआ अपने एमपी के स्तर पे आकर खेलेगा और राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर आकर खेलेगा तो वहीं से हमारे भविष्य के ओलंपियंस भी निकलेंगे. जरूरत है हमें धरातल पर उस चिंगारी को सुलगाने की, वहां पर और आग लगाने की मतलब देयर शुड बी फायर इन द बेली टू प्ले वेल एंड डू वेल. निस्तुला जी क्योंकि पॉलिटिक्स की पत्रकार बोलेंगे आग लगाने की बात, मैं आग लगाने की बात, भाई खिलाड़ियों में आग दूसरे जज्बा होता है कि उनको कहीं ना कहीं उनमें वो भाव पैदा करने की आपको खेलना है, देश के लिए आगे बढ़ना है. तो मुझे लगता है ऐसे बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट्स अगर हमारे होंगे तो एक इकोसिस्टम हमारे यहाँ पे खड़ा हो सकता है. फिट इंडिया मिशन की मैं बात करूं तो फिट इंडिया मिशन को लेकर फिटनेस का डोज आधा घंटा रोज. एक वाक्य है लेकिन बहुत बड़ा संदेश छिपा है कि 24 घंटे में क्या आधा घंटा हम अपने लिए निकाल सकते हैं शारीरिक तौर पर, मानसिक तौर पर स्वस्थ रहने के लिए, आगे बढ़ने के लिए. 9 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों ने पिछले साल उसमें भाग लिया. इस साल भी हम करेंगे फिट इंडिया क्विज में 34,000 से ज्यादा विद्यार्थियों ने उसमें भाग लिया. 3 करोड़ से ज्यादा के कैश प्राइज हमने उसमें देने का काम किया. फिट इंडिया प्लॉग रन किया, फिट इंडिया मोटर बाइक एक्सपीडिशंस हमने किए, स्कूल क्विज किए, फिट इंडिया क्विज किया. टीवी पर इसको दिखाने का काम किया, स्टार टीवी ने उसमें एक बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई. और 21 जून को योगा दिवस, आज पूरी दुनिया उसको मना रही है, ये अपने आप में बड़ी बात है. श्री अन्न मिलेट्स की प्रमोशन के लिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने उसकी शुरुआत की, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला जी ने उसको बजट में कहा। सिंह गुप्ता जी, हमने इसको अपने खिलाड़ियों के लिए जो डाइट प्लान है, NIS पटियाला से लेके देश भर में हमारे जितने नेशनल सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हैं, सब ने हमने मिलेट को अपने डाइट प्लान में अडॉप्ट किया है। इसकी न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू जो है उसको जानकारी आगे बढ़ाते हुए भी, और मैं चाहता हूं कि आप जैसे स्पोर्ट्स मैगजीन्स भी अगर इसके बारे में बताएंगे तो देश के लोगों को, जहां खिलाड़ियों को लाभ मिलेगा वहीं पे छोटे किसान को भी इसका लाभ मिलेगा। As everyone know that sitting here, I mean, you might have discussed during the day and you might be aware that whenever any athlete wins in any competition here in India or abroad, it is never an individual feat. There is a federation who is working behind it. There is a coach, supporting staff, fellow players, family working behind them. So if we want to see India as a sporting powerhouse in the years to come, it cannot solely happen through the efforts of the central government or few proactive sports associations or federations. We have to work as a team, from corporate houses, NGOs, sports federations, state governments to the national government. पांचों को इकट्ठे आना पड़ेगा, ये पांचों की ताकत को बनाना पड़ेगा. And I've seen many federations have started doing well. They have brought in more transparency and accountability into the system. We have also tried to ensure the National Sports Code is implemented in all those federations. We have seen many PSUs and the private organizations coming forward in helping our athletes. So it can't be just left to one stakeholder to take up the major chunk of the responsibility. If we want to go ahead and become a superpower in sports, we need to concentrate on certain changes which is required at the federation level, at the state governments level, and we have to bring those changes in the sporting ecosystem. It may take some more time, but we are trying hard to bring in those changes. We need to professionally run the sporting federations that solely put forth the interest of athletes and go about their work in a transparent manner. I'll be more than happy to provide some funds in their ACTC, in their annual calendar, to run their federations in a more professional manner, to hire more professionals. The board can take the decisions and could be implemented through the CEOs or the GM operations or other such professionals to be appointed by the respected federations. In the last few months, we have seen many federations have adhered their constitution with the National Sports Development Code 2021. In certain games, we are facing challenges like equestrian and such games where we don't have enough infrastructure at the grassroots level, but they are also making some changes to broaden the base and work at the grassroots level. So every stakeholder has an individual role to play, but there also needs to be a team approach so that there is no duplication. If an elite athlete has a requirement, then the central government through SAI or the Mission Olympics Cell, the respective sporting federation and the NGO they are associated with can come together and work together. But I'd like to say here, instead of chasing glory for one's own organization, we must put forth the interest of the country and the athlete first and foremost. If the athlete wins, all the stakeholders win automatically. We see at times when an athlete wins, many run to take the credit for that. I think that should not happen. I have also appealed to the corporates of this country to contribute towards the National Sports Development Fund, through which we provide financial assistance to the development of infrastructure and also run the top scheme. Here we see the public sector enterprises have come forward and contributed towards this side. But we don't see the same kind of response from the private organizations or such multinational companies who they have not come forward in the big way. One more important stakeholder which I left out deliberately but plays a very, very crucial role in the sporting landscape is the media. They amplify the achievement of the athletes to the entire world, and they have also pointed out some misgivings and lacuna. Publications like Sportstar have a very important role to play in a cricket where every sport except cricket has struggled to achieve mainstream following. Change often comes slow, but I'm so happy today to see that our elite non-cricketing athletes have become role models too. Children across the country emulate Neeraj Chopra, P.V. Sindhu, Mirabai Chanu, MC Mary Kom, P.R. Srijesh, Savita Punia, Rani Rampal, Mirabai Chanu, and many others. I mean, like I can go on taking names one after another. They have become household names today, and it is a testament to their excellence, but the media is equally to thank for. We need to bring out these stories in the mainstream. Every single athlete sitting here will have a life story that will inspire thousands of children. That is why we also begin a special program known as Meet the Champion, wherein an Olympians visit a school in any city across the country and spend a day with the school children among them. These athletes have seen so much of struggle and have overcome all challenges to be here they are today, where they are today. Our aim and goal is to remove the challenges for coming generations of sports persons, the athletes who are currently participating in the Khelo India Games, for example. And as I conclude my address here, I would just like to remind everyone that we are less than 6 months away from the Asian Games and about 16 months away from the Paris Olympic Games. The entire country, starting with Prime Minister Modi to the youngest of the school children, must see a wave of sport of our athletes, for our athletes in these competitions, just as we did at Tokyo, Birmingham. And I would like to thank Sportstar once again for inviting me to this conclave and asking me to share my thoughts on the Indian sporting landscape. Let me once again thank Mr. Singh, Vijay Lokpalli and others for taking this initiative, going to the regional areas, taking feedback from the state governments, NGOs, private sector, athletes, federations from that regions also. And I think you might have compiled all that, and we can sit over a cup of tea someday to discuss the way forward for the Indian sports, so that all the feedback you have gathered may help us to make the policies for the future also. Thank you once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Honorable Union Minister, if you can... Honorable Minister, if you can please come forward, please. May I request Mr. Ayan Sen Gupta, who's the editor of Sportstar, and Mr. Navneet, who's the CEO of the Hindu Group, to specially thank Mr. Anurag Thakur for speaking with tremendous amount of poise and clarity. The Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting and Sport and Youth Affairs, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for so many things that he has spoken about. And to be very, very honest, sir, I've had the privilege and opportunity of being a part of Khelo India in the capacity of a commentator, and I think I can say with tremendous amount of confidence that the confidence that it instills in the youth is amazing, because it has technically bridged the gap enormously from where they start to where they finish. I mean, a classic example is a couple of Kabaddi players that have graduated so effortlessly into the senior levels of Kabaddi. Thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful initiative, sir.